It's important to understand that this public policy concerning population in Puerto Rico was not only carried out with a massive sterilization of the women, but also the government favored a massive migration, especially in the 1950s. So that policy to reduce the population in Puerto Rico had two prongs. It was a two-pronged policy. Migration, massive migration on the short term, and mass sterilization on a long-term basis. So it was very cleverly designed to lower the amount of population of the population numbers in Puerto Rico. So it's been clearly demonstrated by studies, historians, and political scientists that this policy to reduce the population in Puerto Rico was in fact put into place. Because some people say, no, there was not such a policy. Well, there was. And it's been demonstrated by research and academics and by the experience of so masses of people. The sterilization operation was so widespread that they stopped calling them sterilization and they started calling it simply la operación, the operation. So when you heard the women, as a child, I would hear the women saying, "¿Y tú te operaste? Did you have your operation?" They didn't even say what operation it was. It became like the generic term, it was so widespread. And I remember that as a child, I used to always wonder, what operation are they talking about? But in my personal experience, I heard a lot of women talking about whether they were or not sterilized. And they didn't even use that word. It was so widespread. So we believe this is a crime against the Puerto Rican people. It's a crime. It was experimental. To me, it was a social experiment in public policy to direct a group of people into a certain particular behavior. And to me, it's a crime. It's a crime because a lot of the women that I interviewed in the documentary and in my previous research, they were sorry that they had been sterilized. One important detail is that the average age of sterilized Puerto Rican women in the 80s was 26 years old. It's too young to be sterilized, especially in a country where half of the married couples get a divorce. And then they would divorce some of the women, and then they couldn't have babies for their next marriage. And that was for many of these women, it was a personal tragedy. So it's not only a crime, it's very sad in the specific experience of so many women who were sorry that they had taken this irreversible a method to prevent childbearing. So, eso.